Hello, today is January 11th, and we are reading for this coming Sunday, the second Sunday after Epiphany. We are reading from our psalm for this Sunday, Psalm 36, verses 5 through 10. Your love, O Lord, reaches to the heavens, and your faithfulness to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the strong mountains, your justice like the great deep. You save humankind and animals, O Lord. How priceless is your love, O God! All people take refuge under the shadow of your wings. They feast upon the abundance of your house. You give them drink from the river of your delights. For with you is the well of life, and in your light we see light. Continue your loving kindness to those who know you, and your favor to those who are true of heart. So this little psalm, or this actually short cutting from a longer psalm, is situated in the instructional psalms. It's a series of psalms that reflect on the differences between the way of the righteous and the way of the wicked. Most of this psalm actually is concerning how, or at least the verses that come before our selection are about the way of the wicked, what people who are not righteous, who are not followers of the way that God offers, can behave. So our psalm, however, is not, or our cutting of the psalm is not focused on those, on the contrast per se, but instead on the center of this psalm, verses 5 through 10. And those verses focus not on the wicked, nor even on the righteous, not on those people who do good, but on the nature of God. So the contrast in Psalm 36 is not between the good people and the bad people, but really between those who are the unrighteous, the wicked, as the psalm says, and God, God's self. So, what is God? Who is God? And this psalm, as 1 John says later in the New Testament, God is defined by love. Actually defined by a term which I have mentioned before, that appears throughout the Psalms, appears throughout the prophets. It's a term chesed. And so, unfortunately, our translation that we have here in Psalm 36 that I just read translates chesed as multiple different words. Usually they pick love. In verse 10, that word chesed is loving kindness. That's another word that often gets used in the NRSV. That is a borrow word, a word that was preserved from the King James translation. And I only have an irritation with that translation because love is a very vague word in English. I guess the only reason that translators keep coming back to that word loving kindness is that it is a stronger word. It's a more specific word. Love, especially in modern English, love is you can casually love something. I love pizza. I can say that, and it means something about, oh, I enjoy eating pizza. It's not anything that is very deep. I have not thought deeply about the love that I have for pizza. It's a casual thing. I have a different love for my dog than I do for my wife. We have a different relationship. We have a deeper relationship that is based in mutual understanding, that's based in trust, that's based in shared dreams and goals. I don't have that precise same relationship with my dog. Annie B, our dog, she's a very nice dog, but she doesn't. I don't trust her, especially if there's food on the counter. She's notorious for going after food. So the problem with this word love is it is vague. And so this for us, as we're trying to understand something about God from the Psalm, we have to go, we have to maybe dispense or move away from just understanding chesed, this central word in the Hebrew scriptures. You have to go deeper than love. Chesed is loving kindness. It is a kind of love that is not based solely on affection. It is a kind of love that is a self-giving love. It is kind of love that is it is the bleeding heart. It is the kind of love that puts the entire identity of the one who is loving on the line for the loved. It is, in some sense, Hesed is not just about liking something or having affection for something. It is about having such a deep affection that you are willing to go to any lengths to express that love. In some ways, this term wraps up the relationship God has with Israel, or had with the Israelites, that there is a sense that in the course of God's relationship with Abraham, God's relationship with Moses and the Israelites in the Exodus, that God was willing to go to extreme lengths in God's love for them. And this is the nature of God. Chesed is not a unidirectional love. It is a love that is based entirely in relationship. A person who loves somebody but it becomes what when a person loves someone, or they imagine they love someone, and that love takes the form of obsession or a desire to control, or some sort of possessive that is not matched by the person who is the loved, that is not what chesed is. Chesed is based on a love that is relational, a love that goes back and forth. It is based on a love that is protective, has concern, respects the person who is being loved. God is coming to the people. God comes to the individual, and Psalm 36 is based on the perspective of the individual. The individual is expressing a desire to go deeper into that relationship that God is offering. Verse 10, continue your loving kindness, continue your chesed to those who know you, and your favor to those who are true of heart. In some sense, this is a psalm about the need for relationship. We need relationship. No, as the gendered saying is, no man is an island. No person is an island. No person truly survives ever on their own. No person is successful as an individual. The lie is that we are all individuals who are totally capable of pulling ourselves up, supporting ourselves, and doing it all for our own sake. This sort of lie of individual responsibility, as if that is putting some kind of claim on individual responsibility takes away our social responsibility. This psalm is centered in not individual responsibility, individual regard, but relational regard. God does not love us just because God loves us, just because we are recipients of God's own godness. No, we are loved because God genuinely seeks relationship with us. And so we reflect that back. And so for us as faithful people, we are meant to live lives defined by chesed, defined by loving kindness. So what does that mean? It means that we are not defined by individual responsibility. We are not defined by uh, uh, the full extent of our self gratification. No, we're defined by the loving kindness that we have in each other and with God. And I'm looking at the time. I am a little over what I intended, but I think as we go through this week, we get to 1 Corinthians, we get to our gospel especially. That is what is being displayed, both in that was being displayed in Isaiah yesterday and is displayed in our gospel at the wedding in Cana. Okay, I will see you later. I hope you're having a good week. Stay warm out there. Bye-bye.